Hi everyone, it's Lucy here and welcome to my background dies series where I show you creative ways to make the most of your dies, and today's a special one. We're starting the first official video in the series, and today I'm using this die from Life's Craft Art and I'll be sharing 4 different ways to use it. I've pulled out some older pattern paper from my stash and I've die cut the design, and I'm going to use both the frame and the inserts to make different cards. I'll also cut it again from white 300 GSM cardstock, which is the same thickness as my card bases. I'm actually die cutting 2 pieces at the same time, so the top sheet will cut right through, but the bottom one will just leave the impression of the design. And if your machine doesn't want to take 2 thick layers though, please don't force it. I'd hate for you to risk breaking your machine. And for my first card, I'm going with a floral look. I've got these gorgeous PET sticker flowers from Journal Say, and the indented areas on the card make it easy to see exactly where to place them so they sit perfectly inside the frames. I like to leave the backings on first so I can play around with the layout before committing. To get the sticker off the backing, I find rolling the sticker off with my thumb works best. I'll move to a different part of the sticker if it doesn't come off quickly, and this saves me from getting frustrated. I'll cut one of the long stickers in half, and that way I can spread it across 2 rectangles, and this tip helps stretch your sticker stash. Any little overhanging pieces, I'll just trim away with a craft knife, and scissors work just as well too. Oh yes, and I forgot, I have to trim around the borders as this piece is the one that was just embossed, not cut, but this is easy to cut around as I can just follow the imprint, it's already there. I'll then glue the white frame, and although I'm not showing all the gluing here, I do glue down every part of the frame. And then I'll add an acrylic block on it. Anything heavy is good so it dries nice and flat while I move on to the other cards. And the teal paper I'm using is quite thin, so I'll reinforce it by layering some white card pieces from the earlier cut underneath, and that gives sturdiness to it. For some extra detail on the rectangle inserts, I'm adding a bit of white doodling with a gel pen. And a good white pen can be really tricky to find. I've tried many, so I'll link the ones I use down below as these have been my favourites so far. And while I'm just doing this part, I've already made a bunch of videos using background dies. I absolutely love using them on my cards, and so I've now updated them so they're part of this series too, and which is why, although this is the first official video in the series, it's number 14. So you can find them all in my background and other dies playlist, and I'll have that at the end of this video so that you can click on it and go and check them all out, because there may be ones that you missed. Some of them didn't get as many views as others, and maybe it was because the thumbnail wasn't as interesting. So now I've changed them up and you'll be able to see clearly what some of the cards will be in that video. Did you see when I first put down the birthday sentiment? It really didn't stand out against this fussy background and the same colours. So I used the shadow die underneath it, and that makes such a huge difference. Now the sentiment's really going to pop on top of the card. And then to finish the card off, I'm going to add a few Nouveau drops for that final little touch. And then this first card is finished. And if you love this die, Life's Craft Art, give my viewers 25% off plus free shipping on orders over $29 US. And you just click the link in the video's description box below, and a pop-up will ask you if you want to apply the discount. No codes needed, you just click the apply button. And for my next card, I'm working with the negative space pieces that I double layered earlier. I've used some double-sided tape to hold them in place, and then I'll use the same tape to adhere the whole panel onto the card front. I did run the white cardstock through a stitched rectangle die that's the same size as my card base. It's a bit of a lazy but handy way of not having to measure and trim. Plus it has the added bonus of the stitched edges, which I love. I had a strip of that teal paper left, so I die cut a few more little rectangles just to fill out the design a bit more. And then I'm bringing in these beautiful PET flower stickers out of the 6 different packs to choose from. I've just checked and there's only this pack and one other still available. So if you love them, I'll have the link below. I think I've used them before in a video. And Journal Say rarely restock the same products. They're always bringing in new items. So once they're gone, they're gone. I'm only using 2 stickers here. That's all it really needs. I still want the blocks of paper to be visible. And for the sentiment, I'm using an old Craft one that matched nicely with the colours. It was a bit long, so I cut it into 3 pieces. And honestly, I wish I'd done 2 words per strip, but that's okay. Sometimes having them all different lengths looks more intentional anyway. And I rounded the corners of each strip, which also works really well with these wonky rectangles on the background. The sentiment strips didn't stand out enough on their own, so I added a white border around each and rounded those corners too. The great thing about cutting these is they really didn't need to be perfect. I actually made them deliberately a bit wonky so they'd match with the teal pieces. I find cutting in a straight line really tricky, so this worked out well for me. And before gluing them, I tucked a little bit of scrap card underneath both the sentiment and then under the border just to elevate the sentiment slightly. It's still nice and flat though, so this would easily go through the post at the cheapest rate. And then to finish it off, I've added some white Nuvo drops, which gives the whole card a fresh light feel, I think. What do you think of these 2 cards so far? Do you like them? This die is so versatile, isn't it? And for this next card, I'm using the teal frame that I already layered with a thick white cardstock piece underneath. I've got these little flower stickers made from card and I'll place a few of them around the frame. At first though, I wasn't totally happy. The rectangles just looked a bit plain being white, so I tried adding some doodling with a gold pen. It was okay, but I felt it could be better. And next I tried inking the edges with a gold ink pad. The ink pad is soft enough that I can just run the pad straight along the edges without needing a sponge or a brush, and that gave me a nicer look, but still not quite enough. I even tested out some stenciling, but I knew right away that that wasn't the right fit either. And then I reached for a washi sticker from one of my washi sticker books. Oh, it also has PET stickers in there as well, and it was perfect, especially combined with the gold ink. In hindsight, it would have been easier to add the stickers to some white cardstock first and then die cut them, but since I already had these white pieces on hand, I just stuck the stickers onto them and trimmed around the edges instead. A big sticker can stretch across 2 or 3 rectangles, which is a great little money saver. And you don't need to cover the whole piece either of the rectangles. You can leave some white space. It actually looks really nice that way. And once each rectangle has some part of a sticker on it, I inked the edges with the gold pad and glued them into the frame. And using liquid glue makes it easier to shift the pieces around until they're sitting right where they're supposed to be. And to press them firmly into place, I used the rounded end of my pokey tool. It's the perfect size for getting into the corners. And for this sentiment, I first thought about using one of my old ones, but it was too small and the colour wasn't quite right now that I've added different colours. I could have gone back to my usual sentiment set that I love, but instead I pulled out another favourite that also comes with a shadow die. And I cut the sentiment in gold and the shadow in white, then popped some foam tape behind it so it sits at the same height as the flowers. The flowers are also lifted with foam, which gives the card a really nice dimension. And then to finish it off, I added a few gold liquid pearls for a touch of shine. Now at this point, I'd only planned on making the 3 cards, but as I was putting things away, I couldn't help but try one more idea, and it turned out so cute. I'll share that with you shortly, along with some exciting news for my next video too. I think I mentioned earlier, I've already made a bunch of videos using background dies and I've now updated them so they're part of this series as well called Background Dies. You can find them all in my background and other dies playlist that will be shared on screen at the end of this video. I want to give a huge thank you to all my members that have jumped on board this month. I really appreciate your support. Next week I'll have another new printable and a video showing sharing some fun ways to use it. Thanks so much for crafting with me today. I hope this gave you some new ideas, and if you'd like to grab this die or any from Life's Craft Art, my links give you 25% off store-wide plus free shipping over $29 US. Just click apply when the pop-up appears on the website. And if you enjoyed this video, I would be so happy if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with friends, and consider joining my membership for exclusive printables and perks too. I've just reached 25,000 subscribers, and to say thank you, I'll have vouchers to give away in my next video, so you may not want to miss that one. Here's the background dies playlist on screen if you'd like more ideas, and here's the other card that I created, a landscape version of it. I could keep creating with this die, so please let me know if you'd love me to. That's it from me today. Happy crafting and bye for now.